Is opposing Zionism inherently anti-Semitic?
In practice. So in theory, you could, let me give you an example. Rosa Luxemburg, a Jew. If you look at her writings on communism and nationalism, she was equally angry at the Czechs, at the Poles, at the Ukrainians, and the Jews for pursuing the idea of a nation.
Mm-hmm.
Great. If you can find me a modern Rosa Luxemburg who is equally incensed at 5, I'm not saying 200, 5, 10 more nations that are independent, I'll grant, and Israel's just one of the list, I'll grant them that they are true, pure, not anti-Semitic, anti-Zionists. But in practice, ever since anti-Zionism exists as an idea, which is about a century, everywhere that anti-Zionism has come to dominate a country, a society, a political party, an organization, a campus, 2 things happen. The first is the environment turns hostile to Jewish life. Even as the anti-Zionists claim that they love Jews, they have nothing against Jews, Jews are great. And the reason, of course, is that anti-Zionism is merely the respectable replacement, even if they don't think so. The laws in Iraq and in Egypt were written as laws against Zionists. But then what happened? The Jews were then charged with Zionism. And a Jew will never be able to oppose the charge of Zionism because, heaven forbid, they just celebrated Passover and they said to next year in Jerusalem. That's how it operated everywhere. This is what you're seeing. The playbook, the same playbook that operated in Iraq and Egypt is now operating on campus. I think it's Columbia now. They're trying to get Hillel off campus. Hillel, the center of Jewish life. By what means? They're claiming that Hillel is Zionist. That's the playbook. You begin by saying that you're only against Zionists. You establish that. And then you begin to charge every Jewish expression as being Zionist and claiming to have that go. So, number one that happens, the environment turns hostile to Jewish life, even as the anti-Zionists claim that they love Jews, even if they're Jews themselves. Step 2, if this is not stopped, fought against, no Jews are left. That's it. And it's always the same. So you have the complete ethnic cleansing of Jews from the Arab world in the name of Zionism. In the 2 decades when the Arab world was obsessed with anti-Zionism, at the height of pan-Arabism, from Morocco to Afghanistan, no Jews are left. The Soviet Union claimed to not even know that people were Jewish. The only problem was Zionists. And we know exactly how the Soviet Union treated its Jews. Poland in '68, a little-known case. There were Jews who were willing to stay in Poland after World War II, kind of picking themselves up, believing in the promise of brotherhood and socialist and communist utopia. In 1968, inspired by Soviet anti-Zionism, Poland go through a wave of anti-Zionism. In the name of anti-Zionism, Jewish professors are removed from power. It always starts among the elite, the educated. People are somehow shocked today that it's in universities. But this is how ideologies get promoted, by having the respectability of the elites. That's why the people will follow. So Jews are removed from positions of power in the name of Zionism. Nothing against Jews, but the Jews are removed from power. And within a few years, even less, I think 1 year, no Jews are left in Poland, whatever few Jews remained. Some left and some committed suicide, unable to just take that, betrayal. So the playbook is the same. So anti-Zionism in practice always leads to no Jews.
It's interesting to hear